I bought property.
I'm back. I can't believe it. So, first of all, I wanted to excuse myself. I was kinda inconsistent the last weeks with my videos. Or months. I'm sorry. But I had stuff to do, okay? I'm very sorry. But in the time of abundance, I mastered video creation. I learned everything that is to know. I even got a huge green screen. And I hope that my videos are going to be more qualitatively appealing in the future.
These are 5 visual hooks that no one talks about. The classic sitting down hook, and you can't forget the using a random object as a mic hook.
So, yeah. No, it's not gonna happen. I was thinking about using my Afra as a microphone. But it is kinda heavy. And on the other side, it's not even that funny, to be honest. So yeah, a spatula. And wasting time is kind of the key point today, because, jokes aside, doomscrolling is starting to become an epidemic. For those fancy, intellectual, high-performative people watching this video, which don't know what doomscrolling is. It's basically when you open up an app like Instagram or TikTok, and then you just watch an infinite amount of stupid and meaningless videos. But you can't stop. It's a tremendous waste of your lifetime. And it spreads into every aspect of life without even noticing it. I can't count how many times I wanted to do something around my apartment. And then I walked, for example, into the kitchen. On the way, I picked up my phone, I opened Instagram, muscle memory, I went to Reels. And from one moment to another, an hour had passed. And I didn't even start what I was planned to doing inside the kitchen. And this happens because they are basically the best psychologists and the best neuroscientists out there in the whole world working against you to create the ultimate algorithm for you and to make you addicted. And it is really like an addiction. Don't believe me? Just don't use social media for a day. Not one time opening it. A survey conducted by a market research company called Morning Consult had a terrible outcome. 31% of social media users say they doomscroll regularly. And among Gen Z, the number was even 53%. I am Gen Z. I am part of the 53%. And I'm very concerned. Please help me. And on average, people worldwide spend about 2.5 hours on social media every day. Which I have to calculate for a second. Wait, please. This would be if you live for, I don't know. How much time do I still have? 20 years? 20 years. This amount of hours, which are this amount of years. And that is completely bullshit. And yeah, you could argue it's just a hobby. You spend some hours every day. Okay. But the problem with doomscrolling is, it's a negative activity through and through. Multiple studies, that I'm going to link down in the video description, have shown that doomscrolling has lots of negative effects on your body and on your mind. People who regularly doomscroll show the same symptoms as somebody with depression. Because when we constantly see wars and disasters happening and people having objectively a stupid opinion, our brain starts to interpret our environment as threatening. Which it isn't, at least for some people. Psychologists describe this effect as a heightened threat perception, and this stress response gets activated over and over. Another major problem is doomscrolling often happens late at night, and there are 2 different mechanics working together that completely ruin your sleep. On the one side, you have the light from the screens, which suppresses hormones that make you fall asleep. On the other side, this emotionally intense content keeps your brain alert. And when you finally fall asleep, your sleep quality is terrible. And what might be the worst aspect of everything? As I said, our brain adapts, which means if you concentrate for hours on the same thing, for example if you're reading, your attention span grows. But if you constantly look at this short format stuff that just goes for a few seconds, again, our brain adapts and our attention span declines. Even if you forget this time waste stuff and this health stuff and the sleep stuff, this can actually ruin your life Because a person with the attention span of a chicken just physically can't be good at school or at work or at life in general. There is like a certain minimum of attention that is required to be able to live a good life. And social media can easily make you pass this line, even if it's not intentional or it's even your fault. That is not a particular good hobby at all. This doesn't come from me, this comes from studies again. Look it up. And it really bothers me that our generation is so affected by this stuff, but instead of doing something against it, we just pretend that it is a minor bad habit. So, how do we proceed from now on? There are 4 solutions, and which one is the best for you depends on who you are. If you are a super self-disciplined gigachad, it's just probably you probably just decide that you're going to stop using social media and that's it. Problem solved. Wow. But for the most people who are weak, like I am, this is probably not the best solution. We need to find a way around. On most phones you can pick for every application a specific time limit. You can set it up for yourself and you can decide how much time you want to spend daily on this app. This may work out for some people, for me it didn't. I tried it, it's very easy to bypass this. Because when you reach this time limit, you just can type in your password and then you can get some extra time, so please try it. It could work for you, for me it didn't. Too unself-disciplined. Then there are some technical solutions, like for example this brick thing. It also works similar to this time limit idea. The difference is that just typing in a password won't give you more time on this app. Those devices physically locks your apps. And the only way to unlock it is to have this physical device. So if you would lock your distractors and you would be out in the city, you couldn't use them because you don't have this thing with you. I wish that it was a paid collaboration, but it isn't. I've never tried it, but in theory it sounds like an amazing solution. At least the reviews online seems pretty positive about it. But if you want me to try those devices like Brick, just write it down in the comments and I'll make it one of my next videos. And then there is the most radical solution of all. Just deleting the apps. Which yeah, it would work, but what if my friends do stuff that I can't see? Or other people post stories about stuff happening and... Stop. That is FoMO. FoMO is for stupid people. We are not like that. But of course it's a big step to delete social media completely in our modern world. The half-measure solution I found for myself at least is I deleted social media on my phone, but I still use apps like Instagram on my MacBook. And since watching reels on a notebook isn't fun at all, so I can basically use the benefits of social media like, I don't know, like having the feeling that my life isn't a completely waste and that if people post stuff that seems funny that I'm part of it, even if I'm not. But without the really negative aspects, like doomscrolling. I did this change like 2 weeks ago and for me at least it's working out perfectly. So if you tried the other 3 solutions and they didn't work out, you have to go the radical way. Or the radical half-measure way. So in conclusion, please don't see doomscrolling as something harmless. It isn't, definitely. It's an addiction, like taking a drug. Probably not as life-destructing as taking drugs is, but you're wasting a huge part of your potential. And being informed is very important, of course, but not at the cost of being trapped to your phone. My name is Miguel Costa, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to you, this channel is slowly growing, and maybe someday, probably a big hot take, but maybe someday this year we can reach 1000 followers. Wow, that would be amazing. I would be amazed. Again, thank you very much and see you guys on my next video.